Gentlemen, 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 gentlemen. It's time for another GT4 episode. This time, it's up to date. Yes, you heard that right. This recording is getting uploaded, hopefully the day after. And not 3 or 4 months later whenever I finally get to editing this episode. Where am I even going? Okay, sorry. I'm using a new Fanatec wheel. I just mapped all the buttons for it, and I'm already starting to forget what I mapped. So, yeah, I might be misclicking here a little bit. But we are going to head to Chevrolet Frito-Lay, down to the classics, and get in this bad boy right here. And this color kind of pops out at me. I really like this one. I also like this color. But, yeah, I can't really figure it out. I'm pretty sure, like, in GT2, there was, like, a purple color for this car, which I would have chosen if it was here, but it's not. I'm gonna go with this. Yeah. So, I haven't even said what we're doing yet for this race, but you already read it in the title anyways. What you don't know is that the Europeans are coming, and they're trying to invade the homeland of New York City, which I don't really... Yeah, I mean, New York City's nothing special to me, to be honest. As a true red-blooded American, the city means nothing to me, but it is our homeland, and we must defend it. But before that, we actually have to go buy some tires. And maybe an upgrade or two, because I did do a test run. I think there's no cars over 400 horsepower, except for, unless they're like absolute tanks and land yachts that weigh 5,000 pounds. I actually did not mean to equip that. I'm probably just gonna rock mediums, but we'll just do hards for the first stint, why not? And how much does a supercharger add? That's a little too much. I think I'll just do something light instead, like that. Maybe a weight reduction? Probably not. I kind of want to keep this car mostly stock. I don't know how the racing exhaust sounds. Fuck it. The race will go by faster. Okay, yeah, I'm already forgetting my button layout. So, yeah, New York 200 miles endurance. And this one should probably last a little over 2 hours. It's kind of hard to judge, but after this, every single remaining endurance race is going to be over 4 hours long. So, yeah. We only got 6 more to go, which includes this one. So, we are getting a little bit closer to finishing this thing once and for all. And there's a Z06 C5 in here. And, well, actually, there's more American cars in this race lineup than there are British cars. The test run I did a few minutes before starting the recording, it was all British cars. But, now we have some actual homeland representation outside of myself, which is decent. And hopefully I don't get absolutely smoked being in an older car like this. What else did I put on? Oh yeah, the racing, or the sport hards. I'm just gonna leave them on for now. I'll be surprised, like, I don't really have a good judgment of, like, how long sport tires last. So, I guess we'll find out. Then I'll just switch to the mediums if I run out of fuel before these wear out or whatever. But yeah, let's see if the upgrades were enough. I know for a fact on this track, the AI like to slam headfirst into the wall on this back straight, so I'm sure we'll all witness that here in about a dozen or so seconds. But yeah, I thought about doing a post commentary for this race, but that is actually more work than just doing it live comm, even though it would be a better video overall. But I'm not live streaming this race because, one, it's not going to be long enough for a live stream. And yeah, I actually made a poll on the channel, and most of y'all suggested just recording some of them and streaming some of them instead of like streaming the entire thing, just so the series can get done faster. So that's what I'm gonna do. I might not stream any of the extreme events, and well, with the exception of Formula GT, of course. That series is going to take a very long time to do. So I'll definitely be streaming that one, but everything else, I think I'm just going to record normally. And the rest of the endurances, however, they're all going to be over 4 hours long, which is usually how long I stream for anyways. So, yeah, I'm pretty sloppy right now, if you can't tell. I'm also playing on a big TV now, so I do have quite a bit of input delay now as compared to before. So it might take a little bit getting used to. Like, this input delay is actually so bad that I don't even play GT7 on flat screen anymore. I've just been playing it in VR because that's pretty much all I can do. I'm also getting like really late on the brakes too. Doing the exact thing that some things never changed. Yeah, anyways, I think in this video, at some point, there goes the Elise plowing into the wall, with me sort of like right behind it. But in this video, at some point, the commentary is just going to cut off and it's just going to be silent until like the last lap or so, whenever I turn the mic back on. But for now, I do have a couple things I want to ramble about. I did watch over the past couple episodes to make sure that I don't go over the same thing twice, which I kind of did already in those last few episodes, so yeah, my fault. But in those last few episodes, I talked about how I'm feeling like right now with the channel and stuff. But now I want to talk about the future. What life will be after Gran Turismo 4 has been completed. Which, I mean, for those of you who have stuck around this long, you'd probably think, well, it'd be no different. It's not like I uploaded this stuff anyways. But, yeah, as I've said a million times before, this series is the reason why I started the channel in the first place, and then I got really distracted. Kind of in a good way, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But now it's like, it's almost over. What's gonna replace this? What's gonna be like my new goal on the channel and my next focus, and just like what happens next? And I've been thinking about that for a while. Of course, my mind changes, like, not even every week or every day. It literally changes multiple times. I just got rammed. That's nice. It literally changes multiple times a day. And it's like a super bad habit. But I also need to start locking in and get some positions up, because I do not want to restart this race after rambling for so long. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm kind of like indecisive, I guess you could say, on where I want to go once this is all over. In the previous videos, I talked about how gaming in general is just like not becoming my main thing anymore. Maybe it's just part of like my cycle of hobbies that I go on, and I've just been doing this for too long and I'm like super burned out. Or maybe I am like actually like getting close to the point where I'm almost completely done with it and would like to move on to something else. The problem is I don't really have anything to replace this just yet. There's not a whole lot of things I can do outside of this. Now, I could work extra hours, like, that's real exciting. Although it would definitely pay way better than this is at the moment. I could try to find a new hobby. I've actually kind of wanted to get into karting. It's just the area that I live in, there's not really a whole lot of opportunities to do that. Circuit of the Americas has a karting league type thing. It's nothing too serious, and there's not like... The only main prize is like winning free races there, which is like whoop-de-fucking-do. But it is a competition at the end of the day. And I think it might make for some decent content. I wouldn't know until I actually like go out there and try to do it. But there is some potential there. Another idea I have, which is far more expensive. I mean, karting is expensive enough as on its own, especially there, because the race prices there are absolutely absurd. It's like, I think when I went a couple years ago, it was $35 per race, and that's only like 10 or 15 minutes, which is bonkers. Like my practice sessions at Driveway Austin, the track I used to go to, I'm pretty sure it was like $25 for 30 minutes. Which in comparison, it's like, why would you ever want to go to COTA at that point? Or COTA karting, I should say, very specifically. But, of course, we don't have that track anymore. And the next best thing is Harris Hill Raceway in San Marcos, which I have been to a couple times, if you guys have seen those videos on the channel. I think there's only 2 videos of it. Maybe like a couple shorts of me being out there as well. But that is ideally where I would like to go in the future, but there's a couple problems with it. One is obviously money. The membership prices actually jumped up recently. I'm gonna get rammed, and there it goes. Oh, that's... damn British. But, like I was saying, the membership prices increased recently. So now, if I were to get myself in a position where I am able to go multiple times a month, or basically just whenever I feel like it with like enough financial security to keep up my own car's maintenance and have like a daily driver outside of my track car. The rate would be $4,500 down and $300 a month after that. So if I just wanted to go as a guest, like whenever I want, whenever my buddies go there, then that's $195 a day. Well, technically it's a half day, but I usually don't drive the entire day anyways. But yeah, that's the price difference, and at this point, in my current situation, I could probably go like once or twice a year, but I definitely don't want to overdo it. So obviously they're getting the membership right now is pointless. But I would like to be able to... I needed to slow down a little bit more for that. That's why I bumped the wall. But ideally, I would like to set myself up a little bit better to where I am able to start going frequently and make videos out there too. And hopefully, like, turn it into, like, my home away from home. Think of, like, Misha's channel. Like, he lives at the Nürburgring and he goes on the Nürburgring every single day, it seems. every day that it's open, at least. It's basically that, but at a much smaller, less exciting track. And I don't have as much reputation to drive everybody else's cars. Like a different car every single day. Obviously, that's the ultimate dream right there. But there's a couple problems. I already said the first one, which is money. And the second one is I don't really live anywhere near that track. So if I'm ever going to consider a membership or even just going there like frequently enough to start actually pumping out videos of like track day content fairly like at a fairly decent pace on the channel, then not only would I have to move like really close to the racetrack, there's actually a neighborhood like right on the opposite side of it. I've been looking at home prices there the past couple days, just fucking dreaming about it. But I'd also need to just like have enough financial security anyways, like on top of being able to afford a house right there. And they're not like uber expensive houses just because they're next to a racetrack. Some dipshit developers decided to build a regular ass subdivision right across from a racetrack, and now they're bitching about the noise. Go figure. Same shit that's happening with the Freedom Factory. Make sure I don't get rammed again. Nerd. And, I do have a lot of buddies around there. That's another thing. I don't really, like, where I live right now, I know nobody around here, so it kind of sucks. Where I lived before, I did know, like, quite a lot of people, and I actually used to hang out with them fairly often, like once every few months, but just like ever since COVID happened, that like derailed everything. I don't even know if they're all still hanging out with each other as much. But I actually remember saying this in a video a really long time ago, like I want to get back into like that sort of stuff. And if I want to do that, that's where I need to be. Me living out in the middle of nowhere is... It has its benefits, of course. I really like it out here, but I just don't know anybody out here. And especially... Well, actually, there are a lot of car guys around here, but I just don't know any of them. And most of them aren't really track bros either. Some of them are street racers. Probably most of them are street racers. Quarter mile bros and stuff like that, but not the stuff that I'm into. Basically what I'm saying is there's way more potential down at Harris Hill Raceway than there is where I am right now. But as far as like where my income sits currently, I would have to like double, maybe even triple it. For not only for me to afford it, like I could afford it if I just doubled it, but I would be far more comfortable if I tripled it. And that would also give me a little bit of spending money for the car, the track, videos, stuff like that. Which leads me to my next point, problem number 3. And I would argue that it's probably the biggest problem out of all of them, but the track videos that I have made, they get no views. And that's kind of a big problem. Which is, it still kind of surprises me, considering that, like, this channel has technically been nothing but car content ever since I started it. It's just mostly been on a video game. And you would think that that would translate perfectly to real life and people would actually be excited about it, but I see this across every single channel that's done this. They'll start uploading IRL content and nobody watches. Well, in some cases nobody watches it. In other cases people will still like watch it, but definitely not near as many as their regular content, their regular gaming content. So that would be quite a hurdle to jump. And I think at first it'll probably be very difficult to get the ball rolling on that sort of stuff, but maybe eventually, like once I get some better ideas and a new format of videos, try to like it'd be really awesome if I could pioneer something, but I just don't have any ideas. Yet, at least. But yeah, stuff like that is just much harder to do. People, like, where the infinite content possibilities lay are with build videos. And I say that because I actually, like, for my first, like, once I discovered the automotive side of YouTube, that's what I would watch most of the time. I would watch Tommy Effia, Ricer Miata. I still watch Adam LZ a little bit. Hager Garage, those types of channels, where 90% of their videos are like working on their car or going to a drift event, etc., etc. And I think it definitely has a lot to do with personality, because they're just like interesting to watch in the first place. You can argue whether or not I'm interesting enough for that type of content, but that's just like an example that I've seen that actually worked out for them. What I have in mind, it's just like track content. I wouldn't be able to do a whole lot of like car work and stuff like that because parts cost money. And then let's say you make a video that makes $500, installing like some brand new track wheels and getting in alignment for your track car or whatever. Well, all the work you did on your car probably cost $2,000 plus. So that video basically cost you $2,000, but you made $500 back on in the ad revenue. I don't really. Oh my. I keep getting close to this C4 vet and then I screw up. This might actually be like a fairly close race, now that I think about it. But especially with automotive YouTube, you're going to be spending so much money so fast on so much shit that the YouTube videos more than likely will not make up for it, even after you like establish a solid audience. Or you could find the perfect infinite money glitch and then get super rich, but that's very rare. Like one example of that is obviously Whistling Diesel. He obviously found a formula that works very, very well, and now he's doing very well for himself, but he actually uploaded a video about this a little over a week ago, and I have watched it like literally the other day, so it's still on my mind, and I kind of relate to it in a few ways. Not whenever it comes to the money part, obviously, but just like stuff. But anyways, basically, the more crazy you want to go with your content, the more money you're going to have to dump into it, and then you probably won't even make that money back. But because it's YouTube, well, actually, I don't even know if I want to say this, because it's probably... I can't give too much insider info, but... yeah, there are other ways to get more money. It's not always just ad revenue, of course. That's why he does merch, and now he has his Alcolo brand, which... yeah, that's a thing. And he's building like other businesses on top of his content. That's probably something that I'm gonna have to do one way or another if I'm gonna want to like get to where I truly want to be, if I want my pipe dreams to come true, as opposed to just like, you know, I don't even know if full-time YouTube itself is my dream anymore, to be honest. But everything outside of that, or everything that goes with that, I should say, like starting a company that's related to it, or companies that are related to it, that's probably something I can get used to, or that I can, like, set goals for and stuff. I don't know yet, but it's always something that I've thought about. I haven't, like, laid out, like, set in stone plans for how I'm going to be able to pull this off yet. But I still have quite a bit of time to think about it anyways. I really hope it doesn't get to the point where I have to, like, start plugging in, like, random ass mobile game sponsored ads and the videos and shit, but if I ever do any of that stuff, just know that it was worth it. Or the deal was worth it, and yeah. Let's see if I can get the slipstream here in the next lap or two. I've also kind of I've been thinking about making a dedicated video about this. Like, I'm thinking about, like, just writing down a list of things that I want to cover, and then just talking about it in a video. I might do one, if I do one at all, it's going to be, like, one of them fairly soon. I won't go too into detail with the future, and then once the Let's Play's over, then I'll probably make another one, and being like, alright, well, this is the plan, and, yeah. But for anything major to happen, I'm going to need to, like, I'm going to need to find the infinite money glitch pretty soon. And that's just to, like, get the new type of content that I want to make started. That's not even, like, Dream House, Dream Garage, Dream Racetrack fucking membership and stuff, like, tier. This is just, like, getting my own place and being financially secure enough to, like, have fun with life. So, it's not even, like, anything super extreme that I'm thinking of. I'm not looking forward to, like, a Lamborghini and a yacht and F1 VIP tickets and all that shit. I just want some seat time and some space to work on my cars. Like everybody else who's into this hobby. There's as many ways I can go about trying to get there, but I don't know. I think one of my biggest weaknesses is that I'm too proud of myself, or I have too much pride in the fact that I've done things like a certain way this whole time. And now that I am, like, a little bit more into the game of YouTube, that is, I kind of get why people do things now. If you know what I mean. So, yeah. I don't think there's anything else I want to touch on just yet. My fronts are starting to fall off a little bit, which is concerning, because I just now finally got up to the vet. I have no idea when it's going to pit. And it's a good thing I did get the hards, because we're only on lap 14 and they're almost dead. But finally in the slipstream of the C5. I just have to not do anything stupid. But as far as like what's coming after the Let's Play, I know I said I'll go into detail like once it's done. But I think I am still going to be around a little bit at least for gaming content, because that is something I can still do and will be able to do for a while. Like this transitioning phase, getting into like IRL content after this. Oh, I just bonked him pretty hard. Don't care. The transitioning phase for this stuff is going to take probably a year, if not longer. Because I have to like, I technically have to build a whole new audience once I start uploading like IRL content at the track, and ideally also like content of like working on cars and stuff like that, because that's where like a lot of the views lie too, not just like going circles on a track with nothing different in between videos. That's another thing. It's like, how many times can you go out to the track and then drive your car and it still be entertaining? Like, you have to show something different or unusual or unique every time you go out. And I don't mean like just driving a different car. I mean like, I don't know, it's gonna be challenging. And now like the more I think about it, the more that side content, like working on the cars and stuff like that, that's where most of the content is actually going to be. It'll basically be like a vlog channel. And that's going to be tough, not having like a shop with a lift and good tools and a company. That's a big one too, because if you're just by yourself in every single video, then that probably won't be as entertaining as like a big group of dudes just chilling. Like Haggard Garage and all those other channels I mentioned earlier. But I know a few people. I'm gonna have a couple talks with them, see what they think about like content stuff in the future. But I don't know. Can't say anything for sure right now. Now I kind of got to do some quick maths because I want to get these pit stops nice and even in uniform. 16, 32, 48, 64. That leaves 12 at the end. 18, 36, 54. 54, 54, what's the next one? 72? Well, it looks like I'll have to be doing one on mediums regardless. Probably 12 laps on mediums. And also just stop steering so much because my fronts are dying way faster than the rears. So yeah, this is all like maybe a year plus from now, by the way. Even though I said I am getting sick of like playing games all the time, there is potential for a good amount of income on it still. It's still like a roll of the dice whether or not a video does good. But it's worth trying, and the faster I can save up and get like everything ready to like take that leap, then the better, obviously. And I have a lot of ideas for like not technically, not a lot of ideas for like the track content itself or like car content in general, but once I do move down there, there are going to be like a few new things that open up for me that I'll be able to do without any distractions. Ideally, I would like to get like a 3-bedroom house all by myself. That way I have room for all my shit. I have a backyard. I have a garage. And it's just me. I don't gotta worry about background noise or visitors or roommates or any of that shit. And I could just grind. Making literally whatever. I could make cooking videos if I felt like it, which I kind of want to do, low-key. Let's instead of muting the mic right now, let's actually go over that. There are some other kinds of videos I want to try. Obviously, I don't want to say, like, oh, I want to do this forever. But I have made a cooking video before. Well, technically 2. Well, I guess 1 cooking video and 1 cooking short. But I am a big food guy. I'm really into guns. Those of you don't know. But I don't know if I would make a gun channel. Or, well, it wouldn't be about guns, it'd just be like shooting, I guess, instead. I'm not a firearms expert, and I'm not some chud who plays like military bro or anything like that. My friends are dying super fast. I also really want to do like adventure videos. Like one of my favorite channels, 2 of my favorite channels I should say, is, and they kind of, I guess they go hand in hand, maybe not really, but one of them is Outdoor Boys. Everybody knows who that is. Big rip, by the way, considering he just quit YouTube recently, at least for now. I don't know if he'll come back, but one of them is him, and the other one is Mav, which he basically just drives in his truck, or well, drives in a few different vehicles now, and just like camps out in them, which is cool. But I really want to do stuff like that. Like, I want to explore the US of A and Canada and wherever else it leads me. I want to explore and go camping and practice bushcraft. All that stuff. And the Corvette's about to pass me. I think that'd be super cool, content-wise. It's like polar opposite of gaming content too, which is awesome. I could be like that one guy that does everything. Like, this gamer is also like a hardcore survivalist. That'd be pretty cool. I forgot to pit. Oh no. That is bad. So I'm just losing a few seconds for no reason. And like I think I said this in a recent episode. I think I remember like hearing me talk about it for a split second or something. But also I want to do like fitness videos. Not like one of those fitness bros who thinks he knows what he's talking about, but just like showing my progress over time. That'd be cool. And I also, I guess this goes in line with my future plans anyways, but I do want to start like a car vlogging channel again. That was like one of the more interesting things I've ever done on YouTube, and it was fun. I sucked at it. But those videos they're gonna exist forever now on my hard drive, so I just think it'd be cool. They don't really take a whole lot of effort to make either. I just have to like go out and do stuff with cars. And then there you go, there's your channel. With that channel, it was mostly just like me going, you guys have probably never seen any of that footage now that I think about it. That channel has been gone for a few years before I started this one. I've always thought about, like, re-uploading some of those videos, but, I don't know. But I would like to get into that again. Those are some fun times. Let me know what you guys think of that, actually. If anybody's still listening at this point. If you are, then leave a comment saying all the... No, that's stupid. Leave a comment saying yeet. I guess. That works. Yeet. Please, Pit. I'm a little worried now that this C5 hasn't been pitted this whole time. This would suck so bad if I had to do this commentary all over again. I'd probably just do post-commentary at that point. But hey, for once, I'm actually doing a somewhat difficult race. Maybe now I just need to turn on Spotify and lock in. And, is there anything else I want to ramble on? I don't know. That might be all for now. Just like... Yeah, just throwing some ideas out there, I guess. So I think at the end of this lap, I'm gonna cut off the mic, start blasting some screamo or whatever, and just try to get some good lap times so I don't fall too far behind. Because it might actually come down to, like, tenths of a second this race, so... It would have been very helpful to... Oh my god, that's not gonna help. Ugh. It would have been very smart to get a racing transmission. Wow, that Corvette is, like, pulling away so fast. It still hasn't pitted. It's lap 21 now. That might be a 3-stopper right there. Alright, mic is going off. Time to lock in. Took you by surprise, didn't I? I said I would be back on the last lap, but it is the second to last. I lied to you. But, yeah, this race has actually gone way better than I thought it would. I am well over a minute ahead of the C5, even though I am doing a 3-stopper, and the C5 is doing a 2-stopper. But the difference in lap time has made up for it, plus quite a bit. Also, I'm pretty sure the C5 is, like, only pitting because it's out of fuel. So it has to, like, sit in the pits for a few extra seconds longer, which is something I did not account for. But, yeah. Of course, shortly after I muted the mic and actually locked in and started driving, started to put down some very consistent laps, found my pace, and a couple laps ago I just got a new best lap. Unfortunately, it is not in the 145s, and it's too little too late to get into the 145s now, as my front right is starting to die once again. So, I'm really glad I don't have to redo this race after finding out the pit strategy is doomed. But yeah, that just one more lap, and then we have 5 endurances to go. This one wasn't too bad, honestly. I mean, it was boring, of course, just sitting here and having nothing to do or talk to, but the rest of the endurances will be streamed, hopefully with a decent amount of viewers, now that I'm actually a little bit more active. So, you guys can hopefully keep me a little bit busy. So, I'm probably going to stream, well, it's not going to be relevant anymore by the time this video is up, but I'm probably going to stream tomorrow, which is Monday. And, I might do one of the Extreme Event hauls, and, or one of the Extreme Event series races, things, I don't know, probably a Dream Car Championship, I think that's next. And, I'm probably going to do the Nürburgring 4-hour right after that. We'll have to see. But that should be like a 6-hour-long stream or something. Which would be good practice for the big boy stream that I'm doing potentially this weekend if I'm in the right, like, if I start off in optimal condition. Because, yeah, I'm still trying to do the 200 laps of the Nürburgring in VR. Because I'm a madman. But hopefully that will give the channel the boost that it needs to get me to where I want to be in life and stuff, as I was talking about earlier in this race. So, hopefully things go well with that. It's going to be so hard, though. I just know I'm going to be miserable. But hopefully you guys can keep me occupied while I suffer. So, there it is. Wow, that was a 142 point brace. Point brace, yes. Point race. Not too bad. I wasn't even paying attention to that earlier. I probably would have restarted if I did catch that. But yeah, thankfully I didn't have to restart this. And it went nice and smooth. So, I need to remember to save the replay too. I always forget that, and then I have to go back and do another race and grab the thumbnail that way. But, yeah, $250,000. Let's save this replay before I forget. Bam, bam, bam. Bam. So, yeah, that's that. Let's get our prize car, I guess. I'm pretty sure it's an Aston Martin DB9 again. It's been a while since I've looked at the prize cars for this game. Vanilla, at least. Oh, okay. I don't know where I got Aston Martin from, but yeah, this is the prize car. At least it's fitting. It would have been very stupid to win a British car for this race. But yeah. Just real quick, let's go over this again. Nürburgring 4 hour, Suzuka 1,000 kilometers. What the fuck is a kilometer? Fuji 1,000 science units. Tsukuba 9 hour. And of course, the grand finale race. So, yeah. I think Tsukuba 9 hour is actually going to be worse than... Actually, no. I'm using a wheel. The force feedback is going to kill me on that race. Unless I find some way to fix it. Which, after 5 years doing this thing, you would think I would have found a fix by now. But no, there isn't one yet that I know of. Otherwise, I'd be using it. Anyways. Where did you disappear to? This Fanatec hub is so janky. I can't wait to get a different one. There it is. Nice color on it, too. Burgundy. Metallic. 1971, the last year of the gas guzzlers. I think. It seems like it anyways. I can't think of a single car from 1972, like... Yeah. Anyways. That's it. Stay tuned for more episodes, and, like I said, next one might be during a stream, or I might record it, and then just do the Nürburgring race on stream instead. We'll see how it goes. But the series is now my main priority again, and it will be until it's finished. There will be some regular videos peppered here and there, but yeah. Thanks for watching.